You can't go to court looking like Sideshow Bob, bro. You gotta at least button up a little bit, bro.
No, I ain't button. Man, this is what I look like. This is what my money look like. Welcome to Rod Uncensored Podcast. I got a special guest, Mont Griff. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing good. How you doing, yo?
Doing all right, man. I met Mont Griff from Cool J's open mic in Barry, Delaware, man. But man, tell the people a little bit about yourself, man. How did you start this comedy journey and stuff like that?
I've been doing comedy, I want to say 5-6 years. I kind of lost count. I just do it. But I know it's been a minute. And no, like I hear, like I think I was in my 30s, maybe between 30 and 35, I was having like one of those midlife crises. Them shits are for real. It's all right to cuss, right?
Yeah, it's fine.
All right, I'm just want to know what's up. It says uncensored, but it might be censored.
No.
No, I just had one of those, like going through like what I want to do going forward or what do I like doing. So in my head, it's like a lot of friends saying, oh, you're funny. I used to do stuff with my brother when we were younger. We used to put our church suits on and dress like midgets, like when you put the shoes on your knees. So we used to do that all the time. And then one day, somebody invited me to this, I don't know, this premiere and something. It was like, I give you some time. I went up there, didn't have nothing really prepared, dumb jokes. But after that day, I just kept working. And it's a rush. I ain't gonna lie. I get nervous every time I get on stage.
So you said you get nervous. I think, I only been doing a rocket 4 months now. But I feel like every time I go up there, I either got to piss like 3 times or I'm nervous, like I got to go to court or something.
I used to get sick or had to take a mean shit before I used to go to shows. Like my stomach wouldn't act right. It could have been a shit or a throw up. Mm-hmm. And after a while, it just went away because the nerves was actually driving me. But at the beginning, it was trying to stop me from doing it.
But I feel like, when I do be up there, I never got been on the show yet. I've only been doing 4 months. But I feel like comedy is really therapeutic. And I feel like some kind of way by being on the stage, just saying some words, we get high off of it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Just saying words and just engaging with people, just feeling the vibe. You know what I mean? Me personally, I get like a USA from it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? What's your thoughts about that? Do you feel like it's addictive to you personally?
It is. Like when you first initially say the first word, it's like it's time to just ride it out, go over everything you practice, and then once you get to the end, you go backstage or wherever you go on the side, and you just be like, whew. And it's just a rush of like almost like a Super Saiyan. You get like a flame over you, especially when you do well.
And personally, some of your jokes, I know you say you're a divorcee and you're single now. So like some of your jokes you think about, from past occasions or anything, do that help you? Like, damn, I can laugh at this shit right now.
Actually, my jokes are all real life stuff. Like I have about an hour bit already written out. Now I'm working on another bit, basically slowly. Like I got a 5 minute, I got a 10 minute. I'm up to about 25 minutes. And then as I'm asked to do a show, they get like 5 minutes of it, 10 minutes, depending on what they book me for. Mm-hmm. So it's basically life stuff. Like now, yeah, I'm talking more on being single and stuff I'm doing nowadays. Before, when I was married, that's what I was talking about and certain things then. But yeah, it's just, even though it's like different and it's like, okay, I'm not married no more, it's actually more fuel for my fire, which is crazy. It just gives you a different look and then more understanding, and then you can touch more. At least guys that go through the same thing and wake up some women like, oh, I didn't never know.
Mm-hmm. Like I feel like me personally, the stuff like always for me personally, this is my early journey, being this shit early and being a baby in it. Um, my thing is it's easy to be nigga funny, with your homeboys, but to go on that stage, that shit is a struggle. Like my
Yeah,
one-liners with my niggas be hidden. You know what I mean? But that shit on
because
stage,
sometimes they exaggerate the laugh, and that's what you be like, oh, they bagging up, but then you get on stage, you're like, that shit sounds funny a week ago.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, that comedy forced me to write more. And English was the worst subject because I don't really like writing, but more so is typing. And I don't like it, but it got me writing and writing, and then I started writing other things. You know what I'm saying? Skits and trying to work out like a sitcom and stuff like that. So it gets you. It's almost like reading a book, but you're creating it, and it's just you get lost in it sometimes. So when I practice for a bit, I don't practice like all week. I practice days before, and then the day of, I literally lock myself in a room and I just practice, 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 practice. Even at the show, you'll see me standing off to myself, going over my stuff, no matter where I'm at in the lineup, because I want to go up there and know it. So if I veer off and mess with the crowd, I can jump back into it.
And you know what I mean? When you be up there, do you like add shit? Like,
It all depends if it comes to me. Like, I'll be honest, I'm good with improv, but I don't rely on it like I used to. Like I like on they had a open mic showcase, and he just asked me spare the moment when I showed up, and I was like, yeah. And then I told Major, yeah, I go up and do some jokes. I had some stuff I'm doing behind the scenes, but I haven't been on stage. So when I performed at the show, they all was shocked because it was all new material. But I was like, I've been working. Like, I record myself, I listen to it, let my kids listen to it. I let some people at work just listen to a joke, and they just like, oh, this is good. And then I work on it. And then when I go to the show, sometimes magic happens. And that day, some stuff came out that made the joke better. And I was like, oh. So it's always good to have inner jokes and stuff like that, little stuff, and then you can add it to stuff that's relatable in your joke off the cuff. And they think it's just what you're thinking, but it's like it's been stored in there. I just had to pull out a file.
and I feel like sometimes that happens for me. Like my bit about the bit about heaven. I said, man, I was talking to my wife. I said, yo, what you think about this right here? And she was like, that's kind of crazy right there. I said, all right, so let me switch it like this. I don't write my shit out completely. I just write like a sentence after it, and I'm gonna add more to this, like, because I'm not like I hate writing personally. Like writing, algebra was probably like my worst two subjects. You know what I mean? So, but I realized you got to definitely keep on penning. You can't just and like I started seeing some of y'all niggas in there be doing the same joke. I said, yo, I gotta start doing that. I can't keep on
You That's how, like, I
making
ain't gonna
three
lie,
mixtapes a day. like
I used to go to open mic and just go there and be like, I'm just gonna show my ass. But then as I got deep into it, I'm like, if I want to get booked more, I gotta work on this routine. So I ignore the fact that these people been here last time, but I'm perfecting what I need to perfect. So if they're not finding it funny and I can make them laugh after working on it 5 weeks in a row, okay, I changed it a bit, and it now they laugh at something they already heard. So it's just, yeah. So it's good because that's what I thought to myself. I'm gonna go up there and do something new last couple days ago. But then I was like, I'm gonna work on that joke, the jokes about me going to Vegas. But it was like compact. So next time I'm gonna do it, I'm just gonna do it long-winded. Like I normally, like I'm gonna perform it, and when I get the light, I'm just gonna end it on the next joke, and then go back up there next time and finish the rest of the half. I'm just gonna go. I'm not gonna worry about what time I have or how many jokes I'm gonna cram in. I'm just gonna do the set, and then when I get the light, leave all the jokes. That's it.
I'm starting to feel like for me personally, you know, I'm in a relationship. I told my wife, I said, I need more than just one day. So if I can, I'm gonna try to just truck 2 days, and you know what I mean, during the week.
Go to Bar 13 on Wednesdays.
I was thinking about somebody was telling me about the spot in Philly on Mondays. I'm off on Mondays, so I'm gonna think
Okay.
about
Oh
checking
yeah,
that out.
yeah. If you willing, depending on where you live, but if you willing to drive, so be it.
Yeah, so I just want to get that extra time in just to
You do.
experience other people, not the person, but experience other rooms.
And record every.
I can't hear you. I don't know what happened to the volume.
I was about to say what?
Yeah, you said record everything.
Yeah, that's what at the beginning I was just, in order for me to have the jokes, I just went up there freestyling, just talking crazy. And then I went back and I was like, okay, I'm gonna write about this, I'm gonna write about this. And then I started building on those jokes and going to perform them. Like, to be honest, I have jokes I did 2 years ago I haven't performed today, and I can bring them back. So it's like a whole arsenal, but it's gonna come full force because everything I'm talking about is me. So eventually, as I do different shows, like I'm talking to people now, and I told them if I ain't gonna be the feature right before the headliner or the headliner itself, I'm not doing a show. I don't. A lot of people was like, you shouldn't, but I'm like, I need to go up because the work I'm putting in. Trust me, I need more time. I can't give you what I want to give you in 10 minutes. I'm sorry. I'm not going to be quick funny. I want to be up there entertaining them for about 20 minutes at the shortest. Like, it just.
So what you think? So who were your influences in your comedy?
See, that is crazy because when I first started, I didn't think, because I always did love comedies because my mom got me into it. And it was just certain stuff. Like, I would say if we just focus on just stand-ups, I want to say maybe the very first stand-up I saw, I remember vividly, was the Kings of Comedy, like as a stand-up. Like, I saw Raw and everything, but I didn't see it in the timeline of everybody else. Like, I didn't like Comedy Jam, Def Comedy Jam, Comic View. I watched a lot of variety comedy shows. I never really watched like a solo stand-up. So it's a lot of different comedians I like. But right now it's more so like Mike Epps, because I just like how he's very fun and he's very relaxed and he is who he is. And I just like the way he performed on stage.
Yeah, that's because I saw in one of your interviews you was talking about Tommy Davidson.
Yeah, and but that's in the part of when I do skits and stuff, like being characters
Oh,
and
okay.
everything. Look, I got wigs right here. For real, I do all types of different characters. Got another wig right here. Like that, like when I first started doing comedy, I had a show I was gonna do at Cool J's. It was called Welcome to Schizophrenia. And I was gonna do, I think, 5 other characters and myself. And they all had bits. But COVID hit that same year, and then 2 weeks later, I was gonna go to LA and do some stuff out there, and COVID hit, and it shut down the world. And then I never was able to get back. So now I'm just basically not starting over, just building more of the foundation. So when I do that show, I'll be crisp.
Like recently, I've been watching like a lot of Ali Sadiq. Um, he's a long storyteller, but them motherfucker punches he be throwing is crazy, you know. So, because I feel like I'm not like a one line punch, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like a punch, one
Mm-hmm.
liners. That's not my thing. Um, because I'm just used to just talking and just talking shit with it. You know what I mean? Like everybody be on the corner, puffing, whatever, drinking, and niggas just mid sentence they say something wild and funny. I'm that type. You know what I mean? So the one liner shits. I love watching one line comedy. You know what I mean? Like a Mitch Henberger or somebody like with a one liners. But with this my early journey, I just been studying a lot of niggas like Red Fox, um, Bill Hicks, George Carlin, Louis C.K. This niggas, because I like to talk dark shit like abortion jokes and shit like that. You know what I mean? Killing my baby mom. I like sick shit. So I'll just look at how they, you know what I mean, say some real evil shit, but make it funny still. And where niggas don't get like canceled. You know what I mean? So I just been watching a lot of shit. My wife be like, yo, you gonna watch another special on the couch on Monday while I'm working? I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna watch this shit, man. Like I like Marlon. Like I said, I was talking to Jonathan at the open mic. I said, yo, Marlon Wayans, I didn't know he was nice with the pen like that.
Oh yeah. And that's another one I love because he's under the radar, but he's funny, and I like because he does a lot of physical comedy, like how Tommy Davidson does, and it's good.
So what are your goals with your comedy, man? What
wow. Right now, like you said, getting on stage is just like my drug at the moment. But I actually want to, like, it ain't just stand up. Like, I want to get into the entertainment. Like, if you actually see like my YouTubes and my Instagrams, you'll see I love to do cinematic stuff, little like skits, but they're like almost like a little like to a variety show, like almost like SNL or Live in Color or something like that. So I like to do stuff like that. So I want to be like behind the camera, in front of the camera. I want to write. So basically anything that has to do with laughter or drama, that's fine with me. But comedy basically just get me into writing, and writing is making me understand that I can write whatever I want and I can bring it to life.
I'm cool with a little Tubi movie. So anybody need an extra for Tubi movie? You know what I mean?
I'm about to start shooting my own movies because I got a camera. I just got to put it to use.
You know what I mean? I got to
put it to
use. Podcasting. I want to do my podcasting thing. I told my homie, I want to do podcasts. I want to do a live podcast /
Oh, that'd be cool.
Comedy joint. You know what I mean?
Because it reminds me of, I forget the show, but it's on YouTube. They do a live podcast and then they do comedy too. They be doing like, I forget the dude, but they be roasting each other and they do comedy, and it's
I don't want to like Kill Tony style.
I know, but I'm just saying like Kill Tony thing. Like I understand what you're talking about.
I mean like the travel.
Kill Tony, that shit raunchy.
Like the travel and like bring some podcasts to talk, and a couple niggas go up for a couple minutes, bing 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 bing, and like I told my homie I got in California, I said, I want to go check that out. I definitely want to go check out multiple spots, even if it's like 3-day intervals, just to get the experience and to see new things. You know what I mean? And experiencing the network. I feel like the network on the West be great.
That's why, like COVID, the best thing that came out of COVID was networking. Like, I went online, Facebook. I met a lot of people, Las Vegas, Arizona, down Texas, California, and knew them for about 2. Some of them I still know. Some of them live just in New York, and I haven't really been up there. And we still tight. They message me. Sometimes I'll be on their podcast. We'll do some busting up, stuff like that. We did some skits together. It was like, networking is where it's at. And you can do it right over social media. You ain't even got to meet the mug in person. You can have an outlet. Like, I've been to states where I knew somebody from there. They couldn't come out, and it was like, yo, the open mic is there. Open mic is over there. I'm like, heard. And I get there. They're like, yeah, a friend called in to sign your name, and you in. I'm like, I heard. So, yeah. It's always good to, like, that's why a lot of times after the open mic, I like to stay, but I just hopefully it don't last past 11 o'clock. But I be trying to stay so I can talk to people, because going there as long as I have, I feel like I owe it to them to be there as much as possible, just to encourage everybody else that's just starting out, basically.
Yeah, that's why, my first little counters, just before I jumped off the porch, I talked to Dylan Tucker. I said, yo, what do I need to know if I want to try to explore this? You know what I mean? And I talked to a couple other homeboys, the homeboy from LA. I said, yo, Like, what do I need to do to really, you know what I mean, move in this range? Because I never thought about it. I'm 32 years old. You know what I mean? So I just try to get the game. You know what I mean? Realize this comedy shit is a lot of clicky. Is who you know sometimes. You know what I mean? It's some gatekeepers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yo, we always talk about it. Like we all in the limbo. Like you can say that we a clique just because we, you know what I mean, we're cool with each other and we always there, but we're not. We're just like we stay where we at. This is our home. Me, Major, Legal D, Marv, his wife, and a couple others that's been there for a long time. And when somebody I know referred me down there, I met Legal D down there. After the third week, they put me in their next show, and I had a feature spot, which was crazy. My first show was a feature spot. It was nuts. And I did some characters on there. I mean, the whole set was just all over the place, but the people laughed. And I got through with it. I didn't throw up. I didn't fall out. I didn't pass out. I didn't freeze up. I kept talking. And it was good, though. Cool J's gave me a lot done. Like, I think right now, other than what Major is doing, featured every Saturday when they have a show, I probably perform there, like, in my own one-man show more than anybody, basically. Because I was there during COVID. I performed 3 times during COVID.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And I appreciate just the scene there, man, because like the feedback is much needed. Like I know some niggas don't want it. Like I've been to open mics and this is my 4 mics time. Niggas just like, oh, your time's over with. And I seen it firsthand, like niggas just, you know what I mean, be clicked up and not give you feedback. They get their man's feedback, like, they be doing a Millie, you know, a Millie from Dream Chasers. Be writing all the lyrics and shit. So
but it's like how are you supposed to know if it works or not if somebody doesn't say anything? Yeah. And it's just like you said, because I went to Baltimore one time for a competition, but the competition was you had to bring people in order to win, which is weird because I had some claps, but when one girl went up there, she wasn't even funny. Like she was talking like she was on the block. And they were cracking up. I'm like, I'm going outside to smoke. Fuck, this is rigged. And homeboy was like, yeah, I told you bring some people. I said, I'm from Delaware. 2 people made it. 2 people. I'm from Delaware. They walked around the corner. They didn't even drive. I knew she was going to win. She brought 15 people, and they walked.
And, you know, I noticed that too, man. What just overall, just the hosting thing, a lot of niggas that host, especially in Maryland, they put all their boys on the lineup. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn. You know what I mean? So, like, yo, this shit is, and Cool J's and Marv, he just going to be a straight shooter. So that's why I appreciate them there. You know what I mean?
And the only reason why sometimes you see me, I go up like 3rd or 5th. I actually signed up. Most days, I don't know if I'm going to come, so I show up, and he's like, I just put you at the end. So normally, like now, I'm trying to get there early. This is the 2nd week I'm actually getting there early because I want to get in, do my thing, and then sit back and just watch everybody else. That way, if I have to go, I can go, but I already performed.
So, man, you said you're not going to be an opener no more. You want to be the headliner,
or the feature, but I don't want to be first, basically.
So, what if it's like a big nigga?
That's different.
You do it for. That's what I'm about to say.
All right, let's break it down. If it's more local shit, but if it's like on stage and it's like Mike Epps the headliner and then it's like Jay Farrell, yeah, I'm opening it up for them too. Heck yeah. But if I open up to them around locally, I'm a headliner now. Like if I do good in that 5 to 6 minutes, I'm a headliner now.
Yeah.
But yeah, comedy is tricky, but you gotta go over something. Because I remember a couple times I went to open mic, my mind was blank, and I went up there and I was just talking nonsense. So now I try to figure out what I'm doing. Like if you watch me doing open mic, you'll see my head down because I'm going through notes. Like, okay, I was talking about that, but tonight I just don't want to go through it. That's why on Tuesday I was like, you know what? I just shut my phone off. I said, I'm going to work on that set that I've been working on. That's all I'm doing. I'm not going to think of nothing else.
And you know what I mean? To see people like yourself and Malik Tariq, I'm like, damn, this nigga make this shit. Some of y'all niggas make that shit look so easy. I'm like, damn, I'm having a panic attack in this inside. You know what I mean?
You know what's crazy for us? It don't feel that way.
I feel like I got a key underneath my car and the state troopers behind me.
It don't feel that way, but it's just like when we get up there, we know what we got to do. We just got to go over it the way we know how to go over it. And then now I'm trying to teach myself, like when I sit down a lot, it slows me down because sometimes I be going and going. So sitting down gives me a minute to talk. Because like you said, Sadiq and them, I watch how they sit down most of the time. I'm like, I'm going to sit down because it slows the pace down. And like, I don't want to be a storyteller, but the stuff I got to talk about is like in a story mode and it's funny shit all the way in it. So it's like, I feel better saying it that way. Like I have one-liners here and there because Marvin challenged us a couple times and then I challenged myself. So I got some one-liners depending on what I'm talking about. But it's like the stuff, like when I did the show, I talked about, you know what I mean? Like the joke about born in June and all that. And then I went to Vegas this year. I came up with that joke, I think last year or the year before, or whenever they came up with Pride Month. And it was just a Pride Month joke. And then it turned into my birthday's in it, Juneteenth is in it. Like all this stuff is in it. And it just turned into a full joke, especially going to Vegas. And it just went into a long joke. Like the joke I said on Tuesday is literally like 10 minutes long.
So sometimes I know you're a chef. There's sometimes when you're cooking or whatever you're doing at work, you come up with shit.
Yeah. Because to be honest, like my hands is moving, but my mind's somewhere else. Like my mind do be thinking something. Like actually today, I was going over that joke and I was saying things differently of listening to what they were saying when they were talking about, say, they and this and that. And I was trying to figure out how I'm going to fit it in there and how I'm going to change the way me asking, like me saying, hey, you look good. And then she's talking about, I like your outfit. Maybe say something else. And then she clear up her throat. Like I was going through different varieties of the joke, but it's a process. But one thing that you don't know, but you don't want to do is overwork the joke, but you don't know if you were overworking it. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you could do too much, but don't take out, like when Marvin them say trim the fat. Yes, but don't change up certain parts. Like trim the fat mean like that long sentence didn't need to be in there. Not change up how you came up with the punchline. The punchline's good. It's just cut. It's just too long. Ain't nothing in between that's funny, so cut it. Just like when I do videos, you just cut dead spaces.
But I feel like the overall just punch. I feel like sometimes the shit you say, but you like, damn, this is going to be a jab. This is going to be a powerful jab. This is going to be another powerful jab, or this I might pull back. You know what I mean? I feel like just to write it like that, punch. That's the toughest shit.
Mm-hmm.
They just go, you know what I mean? Oscar De La Hoya or Manny Pacquiao. You know what I mean? The whole fight. You know what I mean? That's just the challenge right there.
I got my mic stand here, and maybe tonight, since I'm off tomorrow, I'll just put the mic there. I record myself, and I just start like acting like I'm performing and just freestyle some stuff. And then I go back and watch it. I'm like, oh, I with this or something like that. Or go over a set. But I have this setup, so when I got something I want to do, I perform like this, what we call it, and I'm talking loud, and I'm doing what I got to do, and no one's in the room but me. So it's like, you're going to do it, then you need to find a way for you to do it. Like me, I need that time to myself to go over the craft and then mentally go over it before I go up on stage, because I think I don't have ADHD, but when I get on stage, I used to have that. Like I just be like everywhere with the crowd and this, that, and the third. But now I'm like, focus on what you got to do. So like Tuesday, I was just chilling, going over this stuff right now because I do got a show coming up. Not coming up, but I got some offers on the table right now, and a dude because he does like concept shows or something. Like I did a Halloween joint last year, dressed as Michael Jackson from Smooth Criminal.
So what is your thought process about taking the booking? Are you selective about what bookings you're going to take? Like, what's your process on that?
So basically, location, depending on if I want to drive that far. The price, we can work on the price, but it's just like venues, like I've been to some out of state venues, and some places are like closets. It's like no back area. We're in there with the crowd, and they call you. You walk through everybody. Them places, I'm like, but they pay good though, which is crazy. And I like places where it's very organized. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a theater kind of thing. You're coming from the backstage, but really, trust me. I've been to a place with a bar, and somebody said I didn't do well, but I was like, it was hard when the bar and the music was still going on when you want me to perform. So to me, it has to be a certain venue. Like it can't be a bar. It might could be event space, but it depends on like how big is it, like what kind of event is it. So now I'm just trying to, like, it's hard to weave through it if it's out of state, but I'll Google the motherfucker just to see how big it is because I don't want no hole in the wall.
Okay.
If that made any sense, I ramble. I do ramble.
Because I was talking to I talked to Major. We sat we just sat down. Because one time I bombed real bad. I was around Miss Williams. I don't know if she was there at that time. It was an old lady just sitting in the corner. I don't know if he was there that day.
Probably not.
You know, anyway, I was like one of my worst bombing. I did like, damn. The lady was not laughing. She was just looking like Aunt Esther off of Sanford and Son. You know what I mean?
Why did you say that?
I said, nah.
Don't be afraid to offend. They had a comedy show. Trust me, I was challenged by 2 midgets, and I was sweating. I'm like, just get them. And I got them, and they was mad at me, but at the end of the day, 20 people laughed while 2 people was mad. That is it. So
I was talking to him, and we just talked. You know, we had a honest conversation, and me and him, he was like, "Yo, this game right here is about sometimes just starting out. You know what I mean? In your baby stage, you might have to take a situation when you might not get paid nothing, but it's exposure.
You right.
You know what I mean? So you just breaking the game down to me, and I appreciate this, the honesty you get from Marv and Major for real. You know what I mean? About comedy, you know what I mean? So, because you know what I mean, it's not really a book on doing stand up. You know what I mean? Or
it's all about the experience you go through.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, Major keeps saying I met him at Cool J's. I met him at Jackson Inn first. Because I was like, who is this loud dude? I thought I was the only black dude at the bar. He coming there, I'm Major. Major stands for. And then I was like, yo, I'm going to go holler at him. And I talked to him. And then I told him about Cool J's. He came through. So that's how the connection went. And the reason why I'm not around like I was because I went through the divorce and everything. So it kind of like, it killed my flame for a minute. And they knew and they respected. And I respect them for that. Like last year I did a comedy show there. And I threw the show and Marvin paid me. And I didn't think I was going to get paid for a show that I wanted to put on. So I really, like, Marv is a real one, man. Like me and Marv had a moment, but Marv is a real one.
Just going through, you know, because I did go through it.
Busy.
You got to be getting off in 5 more minutes.
No, you good. Shoot, that she can wait. Shoot.
Going through that tough time of the divorce, man. Was you writing still?
I was writing, but when I had went to open mic, I was like up there like a therapy session. I was just like, you know what I mean? Like saying shit, but it wasn't like trying to be funny. And motherfuckers looking like, what is going on? So I stopped going because I felt like I was just up there just saying shit. And I just really turned it into jokes now. But I was writing then, but to be honest, I was trying to find any excuse not to go. It's plenty of times I went out front to get in my car to go to open mic and never pulled off. Like I was holding my own self back because I felt like I was I was mentally blocked with all that mess. I could not get that funny out. And I'm like, I don't want to go back there. And plus, I'm a comedian. What I look like going to an open mic and not performing? That don't make sense. So one night I did go there and I just sat there and I was like, this don't make sense. And Major be like, you sure? You sure? I'm like, let me just go up there. And I go up there. So now when I go up there, I try to, like, that's why I come early. I fill out the scene. I try to voice my opinion when people go up, and I try to be ready, basically.
So like you was telling that joke about the dating apps, and it took me to the place where when I was single before I met my wife, just going through the bullshit of the dating game. And running across, you know what I mean, the same things, male versions of me, where they be lying about the baby daddy. So that joke related to me because I had to a couple times throw dirty clothes over myself because the niggas baby daddy's gonna come in. You know what I mean? So
tell that.
So I relate to that joke when you said that shit. So I was like, damn, that shit. The two-handed coin of being single and being in a relationship and being divorcee. This shit is still a struggle any way you look at it.
It is because like I get lonely, but I was like, I don't want to deal with a female right now. I don't. I was like, me and my ex-wife was together for 16 years. 9 of those we were married. Actually, it would be 9 in October, but 9 of them we were married. And it's just like, before her, 6 months before that, I was in a 3-year relationship. So I never really been by myself like this, like living on my own, paying every bill myself. And then when my kids come over, just me and my children, and then they not here, just me. And I force myself to go out. When my kids are here, I'm like, I gotta go to open mic early. They're not here. Nothing is holding me back. I ball every Wednesday. Today I didn't ball because I messed up the podcast on Monday. So I was like, you know what? I just chill. But my leg was hurting from Saturday because, yeah, that's another story.
So I feel like, you know what I mean? And sometimes when you take that break, you fall into something. You know what I mean? I feel like that break is necessary. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because I was in the same situation. I was in, I think it was like 6 years with my baby mom / ex-wife. And I've been with my wife 5 years. You know what I mean? So sometimes you got to take that break in between, and sometimes the cookie just crumble how it crumbles, and you find somebody else. You know what I mean? Within that,
and that's how I feel. Because I was like, if I focus on myself and keep building myself up, something will come. Like I don't need to go out there forcing something that don't need to be forced. So I'm like, I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing because it's one person, just one girl. I don't know what it is, but I think she want me to say something, but right now I'm kind of like I could, but I don't know if I want somebody to be like, you didn't call me yet, or this and that. I don't want to hear none of that. I don't right now.
Yeah, because sometimes we get that key to that kingdom, man. It's hard to get that key back, man.
Yeah, I wanted to randomly talk to her, but I feel like she doesn't want somebody to love her. I could just tell because the way she's like, she's just like a fresh teddy bear, like Build-A-Bear, and she wants you to grab her and squeeze her heart until you smell the scent, and then that voice, let it go. Shit.
So yeah, man, this is just definitely just enjoy it, man. Oh man, Mont Griff, let the people know all your socials and.
Oh, you can find me at Mont Griff _comedy. That's on Facebook because I do Facebook Reels, TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. I might have missed something. No, I didn't. You can check me out there. Instagram, I got 2 pages because they said Terry, but that's here and there. But I go by Mont Griff. I hope you caught my griff, got my griff. If not, you can suck my griff.
Yeah, again, I appreciate you coming on, man. And I'll see you Tuesday.
I appreciate you, man, because you make me feel special. Because somebody say, "Hey, I want you on the podcast." Oh, sure. It is what it is.
That's what I've been doing with this with, you know what I mean, being this scene. I just want to talk to people. I talked to a guy from Arizona. I talked to a guy from Seattle. I talked to my man in Cali.
I see some of the videos.
So I just want to talk to various people, and you know what I mean, hopefully both of us get something out of it. Maybe somebody like, damn, I like Mont Griff. I like how he talks. I like to hit him up. You know what I mean? So hopefully,
yeah, because if
somebody
you're in
can
that
see
area,
it.
You got somebody to hit up.
Yeah, so again, I appreciate you, man. I see you Tuesday, man. Hopefully you have a good weekend, man.
Yeah, you too. I appreciate you too.
All right, man.
Yep.